31 July 2023. This news flash, I'm going to talk again about Malema. It is something that we have to pay attention to, whether we like it or not. Malema is a prominent figure on the political stage. The reasons, there's lots of reasons for it. The problem that we face with him is that it is a well-known fact that he's out and out a XXX puppet. His handler is sitting in London and everybody knows it. But what really amuses me is that intellectual people, or people claiming to be intellectual, actually sees the guy as a leader. And that is something that I struggle with, because if you had half a brain, you should know that a man that acts like Malema acts cannot be respected. And yet if you respect him, you really need to do some serious introspection of your own morality. Yes, morality. That is what you have to look at. Listen to what Tito Mboweni says. Now, Tito was our Minister of Finance, and he's a very senior guy in the ANC. Julius Malema is a product of the ANC. He learned how to be a dictator, manipulate people, his flip-flopping tendencies and criminal acts from the ANC. Now, he is an expert to the extent that he is able to manipulate PAC, AZAPU, UDM and ATM, and all the leaders of small parties, make them feel special while in turn using them. He also succeeded in using Jimmy Manye to recruit black professionals and black business people. His advantage is that he owns EFF and no one else will tell him anything. Now, on that last sentence, I've got news for Mboweni. Lord Renwick owns the EFF and owns Malema. And that is facts that has been published many times. But his supporters doesn't pay attention to that. They live in this fool's paradise, clown world, where they think he is the man that will bring stuff to them. The stuff that he's going to bring to them is misery. Has any one of these so-called intellectuals that are supporting Malema for one moment sat down and asked themselves, okay, how many jobs has Malema created? How many investors in the South African economy has Malema drawn to the country? You know, those things that creates jobs and makes it possible for you to get a salary. But it seems to me that the masses are so, I don't know what is the correct word to say for it, but they are oblivious of the fact that they can work a half day as a gardener for somebody and earn 3, 4, 5 times what that grant gives them, but they're happy with the grant. There's reasons for it. Alfred Carbonaro said on Twitter that the main reason that so many people are struggling is because they're too lazy to work. And that's also the reason why so many blacks hates the whites, because the whites has got this fucking ugly tendency that they work. But let that be. Alfred asked this question. Parliament member calling for the genocide of whites in South Africa. Zero outrage. I was absolutely stunned when I saw the messages that some black guys that I perceive as intellectuals were posting about Malema. from total hero worship and adulation to calling him my leader. I was blown out. And then this one guy that I have contact with, he gave me a summary of what Ubuntu is. And then I asked him, now, can you associate any of these attributes of Ubuntu with Malema? And he didn't answer me. So Malema is almost an enigma. But what people must never forget, the real fight is between BRICS and the G7, and the prize is the Cape Sea route. And the current government is not to the liking of the Americans. And that is why Mama Maidan is now involved here. And Julius did on Saturday exactly what a Maidan requires. But the people don't see the relationship there. Unfortunately, the problem lies for us, normal people. And if that chaos breaks out, the violence is going to be out of this world. What stuns me is that in a country that claims to be a democratic country, a member of parliament can stand on a stage and call for the killing of a certain group of the population. If we had a president that was really the president of South Africa, Malema would have been in jail, off the stage into jail. But we don't have a president, and we don't have a democracy. And listen to what Phumlani Majosi says. Bring more international companies to invest in Africa. Don't brand them colonialists and imperialists. That is counterproductive. Helps nobody. We need investment. The more the better. Tesla and Apple went to Asia instead of coming here. We are the losers because of bad attitude. And now the question that you, the unemployed, sitting in that pavilion cheering for Malema, must ask yourself is, if there's no investors, no jobs is created, what is going to happen to you? But you are too coward to ask him that. And then we get this. And this is a very good indication of where South Africa sits on this Monday. This guy called himself Bo Blas. Agent Leon posted, openly encouraging his followers to kill farmers, boers, while white people. Why is this man not in jail? And then this guy answers him, we don't need encouragement, you filthy settler. We just need weapons to put you and your ilk down like dogs with rabies, which you are. Leave our continent. Now, once again, if you claim to be an intellectual, if you claim to be a man that supports Ubuntu, if you claim to be a person that respects morality, how the fuck do you associate with shit like this? You need to ask yourself that question. And then we had that Jackson Hinkle, that American, that made a tweet in which he sang the praises of Malema for praising Putin. And the masses cheered. I looked at the tweet. I know Hinkle, not personally, I know his work. And I responded, you are fucking beyond stupid on this point. You are cheering for a cretin that promotes killing all whites in South Africa. Focus on the shit in your own country and stop praising killers in my country. From this boer, fuck off. Now, guys following my channel will know. That is me. That is typically me. I asked this one guy that I communicate with, and I asked him a simple question. I said, have you ever been in a situation that you had to kill someone so that you can survive? And he didn't answer me. But I know why he didn't answer me, because he can't answer. He's never been in that position. The problem that I see today, and I'll do another Skidmark on it, in general, Mama Maidan achieved a lot on Saturday through the Renwick puppet Julius Malema. He danced to the tune and he sang the song. And if I look on social media, the levels of racism and the levels of conflict is mind-blowing. And I said to a friend of mine, he was here to see me about something, and I said to him, we are sitting with three camps. We sit with the pro-Malema camp, which is the EFF and all their poodles, and then we sit on the other side with the white extremist camp, which are, those guys are fucking furious and they are ready for violence now. And then you've got a large block in the center here that is totally disgusted with what Malema has done, but they're also not happy with the aggression in that white group. So where is it going to end? That I don't really know. All I know is if I look at what is happening, the Nuland instructions was followed by the Renwick puppet Julius, and the cards are being stacked to create the correct atmosphere. And then there are people that have this illusion that if Nuland organized this regime change, Malema's going to end up as the president. I've got fucking news for you. Where in the world did you think Nuland will orchestrate a regime change and put in charge a Putin lover? Tell me, in which part of your brain did you figure that cleverness out? Because that part is fucking broken. If Nuland pulls off a Maidania, you can rest assured Julius is not going to walk away with the power. The fact of the matter is, the South African political system is so fucked that there's nobody that can really represent the West in the regime. The closest is the DA, but that kite won't fly because they cannot topple a black president and put a white president in. That would be a disaster for them and all their plans. So what are they going to do? Fuck the Republic up, break it up into pieces, balkanize it, and grab the Cape for the sea route. And somebody in one of my previous Skidmarks made the remark that yes, the Cape will be independent. I've got fucking news for him. The Cape is going to be a slaughterhouse, because it's going to be just exactly what is happening fucking in the Ukraine. Russia and America is going to fight for that sea route. And you poor guys staying in the Cape, you are going to be in the crossfire. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.